Hey, what's going on, good people? Armand Owens here once again with another episode of the Daily Unsung Leader. And we're into leadership hack number 19. And today's leadership hack is a tough one. Yeah, baby. Forgiveness. Man, I think of forgiveness, as a hack, as an attribute, as a characteristic, of leadership. Those two aren't normally, brought together. But I challenge you to think about a time where somebody influential, whether it's a leader, whether it's a parent, whether it's an auntie, whether it's a teacher, did something to you that you interpreted as wrong, and you developed a sense of hurt, because of that. For me, it was one of the cobs on my first boat. Um, very extremely racist, pulled me into the chief's mess at one point and told me, hey, shipmate, my number one goal for you is to make sure that you leave here with that, at a minimum, one less chevron and on your way out of the Navy. This is from my cob. There's a lot of background, that went into that. Finding some very racist documents on the ship's land, and things that were ultimately covered up, and some very hurtful things that he said directly to my face in the presence of other people that I wasn't able to respond to, and I developed such a level of hate and disdain for this individual. And my personality in the past was one of being extremely vindictive, always seeking revenge, always upset, angry, mad at the world, and that led me down a very, very kind of dangerous path. Because because of that anger, because of that frustration, because of that disdain I had for him, I pursued some very negative outlets. Drinking too much, reckless behavior, a whole host of other things, in an effort to try and release that anger, try to deal with that frustration. It always manifested in something negative. And I got to a place where ultimately I could forgive him, like truly see him in my mind's eye and look at him and say, I forgive you. When I was able to do that, it was such a freedom. It was such, initially, just the amount of energy, that I was able to get back, to regain, that I can put towards positive, more empowering purposes. Because when I was so angry and frustrated at that incident, at that man, for what he did, that all that energy was directed towards anger, was directed towards him, not towards negativity, not towards positivity and towards progression. So in some way, shape, or form, that that unforgiveness that you harbor, it robs the people that deserve the best of you a piece of you. They are only getting a piece of you because you have legitimately seared, cut off a piece of yourself and given that piece of yourself to somebody else so they can hold. And the people that that truly love you, that truly care for you, that's truly out here rooting for you, they only get 75% of you. You only get 50% of you, because the rest of you has been directed towards this negativity. And it wasn't until I truly forgave him and others that have done wrongdoing to me was I able to legitimately get my full self back, where I can give my full energy, my full positive self to my family, to the people that are rooting for me, to the people that care for me, to the people, that need me to be the best version of myself. Because that's what you got to know about leadership, is that the people that you lead deserve the best of us. They deserve the best of us. I have the privilege of serving in an amazing, military for an amazing country that deserves the best of me in my chosen field, in my chosen profession. This country deserves the best of me, because if I'm not at my best in this capacity, people could possibly die. For my family, who deserves the best of me, for my children, for my wife, who deserves the best possible husband, who deserves, my kids, who deserve the best possible dad, I chose in unforgiveness to give a piece of myself to somebody else who probably ain't even thinking about me. When I can get all of that back by freely giving myself a gift wrapped up in forgiveness. You get yourself back. You get who you are, the essence of who you are back. You are made whole when you look somebody who's done some wrongdoing to you in their face and say, I forgive you. You no longer have any power over me. I will not submit myself to the negativity, to the anger, to the frustration for something that somebody may or may not even be aware of. Sometimes we hold on to things where people have no idea that they've done us any wrong. They were just operating under doing the best possible thing under the circumstances that they were given, completely unaware that they hurt us. And sometimes people do hurt us on purpose in an effort to do damage. But forgiveness makes us more resilient. Forgiveness makes us bulletproof. Forgiveness takes the purpose the negative purpose that somebody may have had for us and puts it to a halt. It renders the negative outlook they've had for us to a halt. It renders it powerless. And those people, that person, no longer has any power over you, because you exercise all the power by giving that forgiveness back. And it makes you a better person. It makes you a better leader. It shores up, it sears up, it wells up those holes, those energy leaks that's compromising us, because we've given more of ourselves to that negativity, than to what's positive, to what our purpose is. So it's one of the hardest ones. And it may take over and over again, you seeing somebody in your mind's eye and saying you forgive them. And it may be a practice that you have to repeat over and over and over again until you're finally released. It's not, a lot of times it's not just a one-time thing. In prayer for myself, I have to do this. I have to revisit and make sure that anybody that's done me wrong, that I look them in their face and they say, I forgive you. Because I can't afford to give a piece of myself to people that don't deserve any of me. Because there's people who deserve the best of me. So I hope this helps. It's helped me immensely. That's why I'm doing the hacks. Like I said, it's one of the hardest ones. But forgiveness is worth it. And it will do wonders for your leadership, for your life, and for the people that you have the privilege of leading. They deserve it. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And hope to see you again. I'll be back on Son Leader Out.